It was just always that easy in school. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you feeling?
I'm doing all right.
Richard, what level of concern is there that you have a lower leg injury given what happened in the offseason?
None really. I mean, strained my calf in the game. I mean, it's much as if you strain anything else. Yes. So, it's a couple weeks and I'll be back out there.
It's your understanding there's no connection to a heel and Achilles with
Right.
your calf?
Right.
You know what play? Was it on the deep ball?
No, it was right before the 2-minute drill. Well, kind of at the start of the 2-minute drill. It was a random run play, and I just broke to go, and it just kind of pulled up on me a little bit.
I mean, you clearly know your body better than we do, but I mean, it seems kind of the obvious question that with all the stuff on both legs, that if something happens, it would be in some way connected.
It just makes it an easy story for you guys and makes it lazy reporting. But no, it's just me not playing in 8 months, and getting back out there and going through the trials and tribulations of a season, the wear and tear of football, and taking all these reps after not taking them for 8 months. Your body got to get used to doing it again.
Richard, what was your reaction to Eric Reed signing today?
Oh, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him to get a chance. It's a good Carolina team. I'm sure they're excited to have him. He's a good player, always has been.
Have you stayed in contact with him during?
We talk from time to time. I hadn't had the conversation with him in a while, since PA meetings in March. But I always knew he'd get signed. I mean, he's a good player. There's a lot worse players getting signed these days. So they're going to have a hard time explaining that, I'm sure.
Richard, what was going, in your estimation, what were some of the defensive issues in the first half against the Chiefs?
Bad tackling. Few kind of fluky calls, I mean, 3rd and 15, you call pass interference that nobody else seems to see. That's always going to be tough on you, giving the ball at the one. Not recognizing plays, I mean, we had them on 3rd and 15, I think twice, and we gave them both of them. So anytime you have that, it's gonna be tough to win ball games.
It's been reported that you're expected to miss a couple weeks at least. Has that already been determined?
I don't think it's been determined until I go out there and give it a shot, and we work through it. I think I'll be missing this one, but I don't think we know much beyond that.
Richard, Robert Saleh said your pain tolerance is quite high. You mentioned a torn hamstring you played with. Assume you know what you're talking about.
100%.
Maybe detail how you play with the torn hamstring, what you do.
I want to say it was 16. But you got to keep going. You find a way to manipulate your body and to get people covered. Just kind of stop thinking about it. It makes your other muscles and stuff compensate, and you're going to be sore as hell after the game. But when you're a ball player, you just figure out a way. If I can walk, if I can run, if I can still get down the field, then I think I can do my job.
Richard, as some of the younger guys on this defense continue to work to try and be a more cohesive unit, now that you get a moment to sit back and observe them, what's the guidance, some of the key factors for them to focus on?
It's being locked in. It's being locked in and translating what you practice and what we game plan to the field. Understanding that, these coaches are putting you in position. They're showing you all the looks that you're going to get in games. I mean, it's, I've been in the league 8 years, and it's as simple as they show you the plays that the other team runs. You go to practice, they run the plays that they just showed you in the meeting, and then you review the plays that you just saw run and you just saw practice. And so it's kind of like somebody saying, hey, here's the answers to the test. Let's go take this practice test and then review the practice test, and then you go into the games. And our coaches have done a great job game planning and putting us in position. So it's just going out there and taking it to the game field. I think sometimes, the bright lights get to some people, and we need to get back to being more detailed and being able to say, hey, we seen this in practice. We reacted like this in practice. This is how you need to react in the game.
To what do you attribute the bad tackling? Obviously, it's
it's bad angles, lunging, diving, not running through people. All things that can be fixed in a second. It could be fixed in game if guys just took a few more steps. But hopefully it's just, with Rube, it's, it's first game back, and anytime you're your first game back, you're going to have some growing pains. But I think guys are getting it fixed, and the coaching staff is doing everything in practice to make sure guys are practicing better.
What did you see from the defense in the second half?
Just playing sound, assignment football. Guys being where they're supposed to be. It wasn't anybody doing anything crazy, anybody just jumping out and saying, oh, my God, look at this outstanding play. Just guys playing sound football.
You think the helmet rule is creating any tentativeness when forcing guys to maybe lunge a little bit more than usually they would?
Not sure. I don't think so. I think guys just sometimes it's bad angles. Sometimes you're kind of in a panic. Your feet aren't under you all the way, and it's a number of things. But I don't think it's the helmet rule, honestly.
Couple more. I guess Friday, Kyle had already talked about tweaking your practice schedule. The implication just giving you some rest days. Are you on board with that? Does that make sense to you?
To a degree, you can't not see anything. But there are some practice plays and some reps where it's like, I've seen this rep a million times. I probably don't need to be out here for this. But there are some plays, during the red zone, some teams that are unique, like Kansas City was pretty unique in a lot of their looks and a lot of their plays. So you got to be out there to see the looks, to see the splits and the adjustments, and see how it looks in real time. But other teams that we played over and over, and I know the quarterback, I know the coordinator. I've seen the looks that probably won't need as many reps.
It was Jimmy Ward's first full game at cornerback in this defense. How do you think he did?
I think he did really good. He stayed on top. He tackled well for the most part. He played sound football. There was probably a play or two that he wanted back. I mean, there was probably 4 or 5 plays as a defense, probably more than that we wanted back because it wasn't anything special. It wasn't like a guy just, being incredibly talented and you just couldn't stop him. Plays, those happen in football games where a guy just makes a heck of a play and you got to tip your hat. There were a lot of plays out there that we could have stopped with just being in the right spot, being where you're supposed to be. And so, for his first game at corner, he's had a hard role because he's a nickel this week, he's a strong safety this week, he's a free safety, and that's a lot on you mentally. As anybody who's played would know that none of those positions play the same, and none of them are the same preparation. The way you see the field. So for him to come and play corner like he did, we're proud of him.
Do you feel your body could benefit from taking a day off in the middle of the week like Joe Staley does?
100%. I mean, when you're a vet, football is a physical sport, and nothing is more physical than the trenches that Joe plays. So physically on his body, I'm sure it's helpful.
No, I'm asking for you.
Oh, for me? Sure. It'd be less running. It'd be 4,000 or 5,000 yards less running on my body. So yeah, I'm sure it'd help.
When you signed, you mentioned Garoppolo was a factor. Team has a pretty good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a chance. How disheartening, just is the situation?
Well, it's unfortunate. You hate to see any guy go down, but you also you hate to see the franchise quarterback. Who he's put in a lot of work. He's worked hard to get himself ready for the season. But I think everybody believes in CJ and thinks he can get the job done. CJ had the game. I think he won the first game for him last year, and I think he'll play well in this situation. But that's not taking anything away from Jimmy and what he means to the franchise and who he is as a person and a player. You hate to lose him, but this is football, and you don't get time to sit there and moan and weep. You got to move on and get ready to play the next game.
Richard, with Eric signing, do you think this is going to be a significant instance in the movement, or do you think is the league going to view this differently now that a player has been signed after the protest and things like that?
View what differently? I'm sorry.
Do you think this can be sort of a landmark moment in time for the movement or for the players who take these protests?
I think the case that they have will be more of a landmark movement than anything. A football team signing a good football player isn't really a landmark, in my opinion. Kind of late. It's kind of too little too late for it to be a landmark now. If somebody had signed him in March and said, man, gave him the deal that he deserves, then sure, that would have been incredible. But I think that at this point, it's not a landmark of any kind. I'm thankful he got signed. I'm sure he's happy to be back on the field, but I don't think it's a landmark of any kind. Thank you.
Thank you.